Radiohead is considered as one of the best bands of the past 3 decades and of all time. They have a wide range of different types and styles of music, so as someone new to their music, you may not know where to start. You can't just look at their most popular tracks and get a sense of what they make. So, here are my Radiohead Essentials. This list is going to include 10 tracks that I feel like display different styles from them, so you can see what you like and what you don't like. It's going to include some fan favorites that aren't their most popular songs like Creep, Karma Police, No Surprises, and so on. And even though I love these songs, especially No Surprises, I decided not to put it on here since I wanted to include some of the more underrated tracks, and I'll also include some of my personal favorites. This will be a list of 10 songs based on that criteria. It won't be ordered from worst to best, so don't worry about that. This isn't necessarily my top 10 songs, it's just songs that I think are essential. It'll be ordered in chronological order from what came out first to what came out last. So without wasting your time too much, let's get into it. This song is going to be the first, well, I guess you could say earliest song on this list. It is the outro to the Benz album. It is one of their biggest, most spacious sounding songs, and that's why it's on here. It's quite depressing, which is common for Radiohead songs, but I feel like this is one of the really just dull sounding songs, and not in a bad way at all. It displays that emotion. It's kind of like what the title of the song says. The song feels like fading out. It's really ghostly, haunting. I really like the development and progression of the song. It has some very simple guitar melodies, but I like how the drums slowly get introduced. It's a top 3 song from the Benz in my opinion. The subject matter of the song is as hopeless as the song sounds. It's about how life is pretty much pointless and death is inevitable. It's bound to happen. What a way to start the list, huh? Very happy and friendly. But yeah, if you're into some songs that are really depressing, ghostly, and simple where there isn't much going on instrumentally, I would recommend Street Spirit, and that's why I feel like I have to put it on this list. Probably the most popular Radiohead song that's on this list, but it couldn't be a Radiohead Essentials list without Paranoid Android. This song is on this list because, well, many fans consider it to be one of their best songs, if not their best song. It is also an essential song since it's probably as progressive as any Radiohead song can get. It has multiple segments, 4 to be exact. The first segment is a slower part, with multiple softer guitars and Thom Yorke hitting pretty high vocals. There's a switch into the second segment where we are met with louder guitars. It's more aggressive and it has some of the best sounding Radiohead melodies ever. This harsh, rough part transitions into the third segment, which is just the complete opposite. It's heavenly almost. There are choir vocals echoing through the track as Thom sings biblical references most likely. This beautiful part goes on for a little while, just for it to switch into the fourth segment and, well, go back to the very harsh sounding guitars. If you like progressive music that keeps evolving and keeps switching, well, I mean, Radiohead's got plenty of that, but you know, still. I don't think they have something as out there, as crazy, and as progressive as Paranoid Android, and it's a must listen, and most definitely a Radiohead essential. This is a Radiohead song that I think is really underrated, Climbing Up the Walls. I feel like it's a perfect display of paranoia, sound-wise and writing-wise. The lyrics here are very interesting. The song is from a point of view of paranoia. You know we're friends till we die, and either way you turn, I'll be there. Open up your skull, I'll be there. Climbing up the walls. This is likely the paranoia speaking to Thom Yorke or whoever the speaker, or not really the speaker, the kind of the person that it possesses in this song. Paranoia could include feelings like someone is watching you, and this song kind of acts as that person watching you when you have paranoia, talking from their perspective and also talking directly to the person struggling with paranoia in their head. The sound is creepy. It has these heavy yet hollow drums, very echoey and big. And the song goes on, we hear different effects and some string instruments, but the main melody here is the guitar. It's a simple but slow, haunting melody. There is a breakdown which is very loud and big sounding, introducing yet another guitar into the mix, and it is a bit overwhelming, I do have to say. And that could represent the overwhelmed feeling that many people with paranoia experience. At the end, it slows down as Thom Yorke is repeating Climbing Up the Walls, and the last thing we hear from him is him screaming at the top of his lungs. That's why I feel like this song has to be on this list. It's dark, it's scary, and it's a perfect display of paranoia. Everything in its right place is the intro to Kid A, what is seen by a lot of people as the greatest left turn in music history. With this album, they changed their style completely, turning it digital, and I'll have a couple of songs from it, the first one being Everything in Its Right Place. This is one of their calmer type of electronic songs, which they do have a lot of, but I feel like this is the best example, definitely. It's mellow, but so cool sounding because of all the vocal effects going on and the beautiful sounding synths. I mean, just listen to this melody. This is how the song starts. It's a perfect introduction to the Kid A world. It's satisfying if you can use that word to describe it. As the title suggests, it feels like everything is in its right place. It just feels kinda slotted very well. It's digital, atmospheric, different, and that's why I would put it on this list. And I would say it is a Radiohead essential. I had to choose one very danceable track to include on the list, and it came down between Idiotech and 15 Step. So I thought, fuck it, and why not go with the more digital one and cooler one in my opinion, you know, cooler sounding. Idiotech sounds like a come down track that could be played at the end of a party at the club. The lyrics are quite nonsensical, so don't really pay attention to that. To be fair, a lot of Radiohead songs are nonsensical, or at least sound like it on first listen. The main focus here is the music, the sound. Idiotech has some of the coolest drums I have ever heard on any song ever, you know, not just Radiohead. They're made out of white noise and you can still hear it, you know, like you can hear that they're made digitally and out of white noise. Every time they perform this song live, you can see Johnny actually making the drums live on this big ass machine that looks insanely complicated to use. The panning on the noises and melodies is great, but to be honest, I don't know if you can call them melodies. I would say noises is the better word. The highlight of the song though is the verse, if you could call it a verse. Again, very weird structure to this song. Tom repeats, I say come and I say come, and then just gets more amped and more energetic. There are clicky noises in the left ear and drums keep going in the right ear. And yeah, it's extremely danceable. This very weird dance track develops as Tom's reverb, the first of the children vocals come in, just for it to be stripped to a different melody and to the moving drums. Truly one of their coolest, one of their sharpest and most energetic songs that still feels harrowing, if you can say. As I said in the intro, I'm not going to include No Surprises on this list, but this is a pretty damn good substitute if I were to include one. In my opinion, this might be their saddest song along with No Surprises. There is a deeply depressing organ melody that is later backed up by a harp as the song develops. It is one of their most beautiful and sad sounding songs. Lyrics wise, I mean, the topic he talks about matches the sadness of the sound, and that just adds to it. It's him realizing how sad his life is, even saying that this sad state that he's in is where he belongs. You're telling me that's not touching you, that's not doing anything to you? Are you human? He's telling fans, presumably, or it could just be a specific person, someone else, to stop sending letters that they'll always get burned. It sounds like a send out from Tom. The last line we hear from him on the song and the whole of Kid A is, I will see you in the next life, further strengthening this theory. As he says that, everything just kind of disappears, just for it to come back 1 second later, and I truly feel like this is one of their saddest, if not their saddest song. They're known for being miserable and depressing. Well, if you're into that type of music, this song is for you. Life in a Glass House is their absolutely jazziest song, and there is no questions about that. The instrumental is made up of drums, a piano, and strictly brass instruments. It has a very distinct sound, and I think it's one of their most, if not the most underrated Radiohead song. Yes, I said it, Life in a Glass House is their most underrated song. I actually didn't know this, but this song was featured in Peaky Blinders, the series, so let me know if any of you actually know this song from there, or if you found out about this song from there, or if you found out about Radiohead from there. But yeah, really one of their coolest songs. They almost never performed this live, only having performed it once, which is quite sad, but I can understand why though. As far as I know, none of them can play brass aside from Johnny maybe, because that man can just play everything, okay? The lyrics are weird, I mean, as always, but the chorus on this song is so catchy and full sounding. The big breakdown of the song is the second time the chorus comes in near the end. The melodies sound even louder. There's maybe half a dozen brass instruments going on at the same time. Tom wails the word only, repeating that and giving the song a lot of emotional impact. The jazziness of the song is why it's on this list. Truly something different, underrated, and an essential Radiohead song. Radiohead returned to their older sound, kinda, with 2 + 2 = 5. It's their older sound, except it has some electronic instruments, like the drums at the very start of the song. The song has pretty cool build-up, which sounds very nice. There is a part where Tom is very loud and hits some high notes, even causing some weird frequencies in the mix. But the main reason this is on here is the heavy rock part of the song in the second half. There is a blaring guitar melody that just blows the whole track up and delivers on the build-up. It's something reminiscing of their older, harsher sound, just way better. As this part finishes up, the song progresses to a still very loud but different electric guitar and an acoustic guitar, accompanied by this very weird synth in the right ear. Tom sounds great here, and it's just a very fun track to listen to. I think it's kind of a nice throwback to some harsher rock stuff, and that's why I put it on this list. If there was a Radiohead song that I describe as beautiful and pretty, it's Nude. It's the only entry from In Rainbows. I could have included like 5 songs from this album, I swear, but I had to cut it to just this one. The song is driven by the bass guitar. Honestly, I think I would say this is my favorite bass line of all time. Just listen to it, please, just listen to this. Oh my god. Tom's vocals have delay and reverb, and there really isn't much going on here aside from the beautiful bass line, some very soft guitar melodies, and noises to the very left and to the very right of the headphones. It feels like you're in space. There's a bunch of space left in the track that could be filled, but it's not, at least right now. It will be later on. As I said in my In Rainbows review, I've cried to how beautiful this song is, and just generally how good it sounds. It was enough to make me cry. I think that says something. It can serve as a comfort song even. The theme is sad, as it talks about not achieving your dreams and ambitions, since it's kind of pointless because you will always have something empty inside. You always feel like you can do more, and you'll always want to achieve more, and you're just stuck in a loop. My favorite part of the whole song is where Tom comes back in. "You'll go to hell for what your dirty mind is thinking," he says. This is a peak Tom York moment, and then we hear more noises. We hear harmonizing by Tom that sounds so ethereal and takes up so much space. And we end with some strings as well as Tom still harmonizing. An extremely soft, pleasing, big sounding, wide sounding, carefully crafted song that's definitely an essential. For the last song on this list, we have Daydreaming off of their latest album, A Moon-Shaped Pool. This album focuses a lot more on orchestral stuff, and this is one of the better songs from it, so I chose this. It's very soft and progressive. A lot of this album sounds very soft, and this song is a great display of that. It's pretty long, and for a lot of that time, it's just a simple piano melody, but as the song develops, we get more melodies, some really cool strings, and near the end, some trippy vocals from Tom, and also big, loud, bassy strings. It's very orchestral and a good display of what to expect from A Moon-Shaped Pool, their latest addition in their discography. But yeah, those are my Radiohead essentials. Tell me if you like my list, tell me what songs you would have swapped. Try not to include really popular songs, as I said in the intro. Next, I'm going to be doing every Radiohead song, yes, all of them, there are a lot of them, ranked from worst till best. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace!